Yo, what was up with that Herman in part 5? Okay, let me start out by saying I know why he's in the movie. It's a plot device to help retcon part of part 4 and help establish why Michael's still alive because they were too much of a pussy to continue the Jamie Lloyd being a killer thing. I get that. I get it. I get it. It's just it's so poorly done, and I'm trying to think of like in the context of the story, who is this Herman? Why does he have like a shack in the woods with like candles and shit? Like, can't really get away with that. Like, Haddonfield isn't like some backwater town. It's like a really nice suburban town. Um, and he's just sitting there like that is not what a homeless person would be like in that town. They wouldn't have like a nice shack like built from like the 1800s, all candlelit. Once Michael actually goes in there, it actually looks like Jason's shack for a second, which would have been cool if it was just if he just ended up at Jason's shack. But no, it's like this hermit who's supposed to be like poor, but he has a green parrot, and parrots aren't cheap. Parrots are expensive pets. You gotta like buy a ton of food. I know a lot about parrots now.
It's doing your laugh. It's creeping me out. I don't like that laugh at all. Stop laughing! You're making him laugh.
I can't.
It's like in stereo. It's creepy.
Yeah, so we have this guy who has an exotic pet, who he can't stand, by the way, living in the woods. He goes into a shack, gets strangled by Michael Myers. Michael Myers passes out because he's been shot a million times. And then he decides, oh, I'm going to take care of this guy for a year. Why does he take care of Michael for a year? Why? What does he have to gain from this? Is he feeding him? What is going on with this whole weird subplot at the very beginning? I don't understand what his point is. Like, would he call? Who is he, by the way? Because normally you would call the cops. Well, obviously he doesn't have a phone, but you would seek out someone. You would go into town and be like, "Hey, I found a guy. He's got a lot of bullet holes in him. You might want to check him out." Was he a murderer? You know what I think? Remember when the graveyard guy in the first movie was talking about a dad who killed his family in Russellville? I think he might be the Russellville guy, and he's also hiding from the cops in the woods. I think I might have just solved it. He's the Russellville Mangler or whatever. But yeah. So he's living in the woods. He sees a guy who's clearly a killer, covered in blood, decides to take care of him for a year. I guess he patches up all the holes on his jumpsuit because it looks fine. But then Michael wakes up and then just murders him. What was the point of this fucking guy? I think, other than being a poor plot device, I think it's a reference to the blind guy from Bride of Frankenstein, who wanted a friend. The monster comes in, he befriends the monster, and then shit goes bad. But, like, if this is a reference to that, it's not a very good one. It lacks all the charm that scene had in Bride of Frankenstein. It's just some old dude who took time out of his day for no reason to take care of a dude who ends up just killing him. Alright. I don't get it. I don't get this old hermit. It's stupid. I never liked it. It was a poor excuse. Just have Michael disappear and then come back. We don't need a goddamn explanation. Just disappear and come back. That's what H2O did. They're like, yeah, he disappeared and now he's back. Whatever. Fuck you. Watch the movie. Ugh. Stupid goddamn hermit. I'm still bothered by this, like, years later. I really do not like this hermit scene. If you have a good explanation for the hermit that beats my Russellville killer theory, please let me know.